Hey, this is your girl Brittany calling out of Atlanta, and while I'm at work, I'll be rocking out with my boy, the midday lover, Jackie Tramel, right here with my number one source for R&B music, Global R&B.
Global R&B 96.3, that is. Hey, shout out to my girl, Brittany, man. Appreciate you keeping it locked with the best R&B on the planet with your homeboy. You know what it is. Jackie Tramel on your radio, baby. I got you for the next 2 hours, man. We got an entertaining show for y'all today. We're going to get down and dirty, though. We're going to keep it all the way 100. I don't just talk about love and relationships. I just don't talk about all the other stuff. We're going to talk about some deep stuff today that I feel like the community needs to talk about. When it comes to the empowerment of the culture, we will always push the culture forward here at Global R&B 96.3 and also here inside of the Midday Lounge. So, critical race theory. Oh man, you like, what the hell is that? Critical race theory.
Damn.
I didn't know what the crap was at first in my damn self. But, I had to do some research. I had to think about it a little bit. I've been paying attention to the media outlets, and I just wanted to have this conversation real quick. All right, I took a little snippet from a clip from the GOP party earlier last year. I just want you to hear what they think. Matter of fact, I say like this: a lady named D.
Mm-hmm.
The definition. What is critical race theory?
Okay, so critical race theory is a set of ideas holding that racial bias is inherent in many parts of Western society, especially in its legal and social institutions, on the basis of their having been primarily designed for and implemented by white people, and that is according to Oxford Dictionary.
All right, listen, let's go ahead and take this clip out from the GOP party last year.
Economics to gain control. The new Marxism uses identity politics. And the result is something that looks nothing like America. There's no reason to believe that this new Marxism will result in anything but what the old Marxism.
So they believe that critical race theory is Marxism. We'll get to that in a second.
Critical race theory is racism, pure and simple. And it should be rejected by every American of every race.
Critical race theory is racism, and it should be objected by every race in every state. Let's keep going.
Right now, critical race theory is bigoted, it is a lie, and it is every bit as racist as the Klansmen in white sheets.
It is a lie, and it's every bit as racist as the Klansmen and white sheep. Critical race theory is every bit as racist as the Klansmen and the white sheep. Okay. Hey, I find this interesting. If you got an opinion, you want to go ahead and talk about this real quick, go ahead and hit the hotline 804-476-2306. So we already said what the definition was, lady named D, what critical race theory is. So why is this topic so controversial?
I feel like it's controversial now because it's being used as a vehicle to generate votes for a specific demographic. And a lot of the times, the way that in this country stuff gets done in a particular direction is they start feeding this particular demographic, hey, Mexicans are coming here, they're taking all your jobs. Hey, Black people are spending your tax dollars on welfare and wasting it to get crab legs and shrimp, despite the fact that the majority of people on welfare are white. So I feel like that is why it's so controversial today. And it's kind of ridiculous because it's actually been taught, it is being taught in law schools and has been taught in law schools, specifically Harvard Law School, that many of these politicians attended, and they've taken this class, so they know exactly what it is. So it's interesting that they have this rhetoric.
So my thought process might be a little bit different. So it said that this curriculum is this curriculum teaches white American children that they are racist. When in fact, it should be seen as teach America the truth about themselves. Matter of fact, let me drop a bomb for my damn self. Teach America about itself. They want to say that this is racist. They want to say that this is bigot. They want to say that this is Marxism, purely because you're going to have to look at the man in the mirror on this one. You're going to have to look at the man in the mirror on this one. You're going to have to face your you're gonna have to face the boogeyman. And no one wants the boogeyman near their kids. I get it. Nobody wants the boogeyman near their kids. They definitely don't want the boogeyman to be teaching them inside the classroom. I get it. But you're gonna have to look in the man in the mirror on this one. That's why I'm thinking it's controversial, because at the end of the day, you're gonna see some past. You're gonna see some narratives that you didn't quite. White America has got to deal with on a level that they're not gonna want to see, and I keep it that way.
All right. So do you believe in knowing what critical race theory is by definition? Do you believe that it teaches white people that white people have to feel guilty about what happened in the past?
I think it teaches them exactly who they are. I think it teaches them exactly who they are and where they come from. Some are scared that they will see, I think it's going to come into the fact where some are going to be scared that they're going to see their parents. They're going to see their grandparents. They're going to see the actions and the maliciousness and the bigotness, the killing, the lynching of their ancestors. And they're gonna have to explain that to America. They're gonna look inside these textbooks. If they put this curriculum K through 12, they're gonna look at this like, dang, that's my grandpa. That's my pappy. He did that. He urinated on a black woman, on a black little girl at while she was just trying to go to school, but you want to segregate her. It's kind of like that example of Jerry Jones when he was caught up in that picture of when he was at the segregation. I think it was Arkansas. Was it Arkansas or Nebraska? Something like that.
Somewhere, yeah, so somewhere out.
But it came back around. It came back around. So I think I ain't gonna say it should make them feel guilty. It should make them feel aware of their truth and realize that white people, Caucasians, have always had the propensity to rape, pillage, and plunder. And that's my thought process on that. What you thinking?
Well, I feel like it teaches the reality of what certain groups that have come into this country have had to deal with, and why they have to deal with these, and why generationally later we have to deal with these things today. And I'm glad you brought up the whole, like, they would have to explain stuff to America. It's not even them having to explain stuff to America. Because when that stuff with George Floyd happened, and I really feel like this is why a whole bunch of people are anti-TikTok. But a lot of kids were on there talking about, like, oh my God, my grandfather's a racist. Like, the kids know. And they don't want them to know. And it's crazy.
Hey, drop a bomb for the kids. That's Global R&B 96.3. You want to join the conversation, hit the hotline 804-476-2306. We're talking critical race theory. Ask your people. We got to talk about this. Global R&B 96.3. Welcome back to the Midday Lounge. This is Global R&B 96.3. You're locked in with the baddest man on the planet. I'm the baddest man on radio. In case y'all didn't know, Jackie Tramel's back on your ears, baby. It's Global R&B 96.3, the real deal in digital radio. Before that break, we was talking about critical race theory. Critical race theory, man. So, I just want you to understand that I am right now, with my knowledge of critical race theory, I'm on board with it. Teach it to the children, no matter what. But anyway.
All right. So a lot of the conversation about critical race theory centers around teaching it in schools. So although it's not currently being taught in any K through 12 school, do you feel like it should be?
Yeah, I think it should be taught. I would say it definitely should be taught. Teach the truth. I say again, teach the god doggone truth. All right. I think the school system is already dumbing down everything, and it omits certain facts for feelings. They omit certain facts for feelings because they don't want things to be seen a certain way. Even like just the thought, like I was talking to my children, they took slavery out of. They don't talk about Black history. They don't talk about slavery. They called it. We had a show about this. They called it
Divisive.
Voluntary servitude, something like that. We were talking. Crystal J was talking about it on one of our past episodes. So I do think it needs to be taught. I think at the age of understanding, let it be known. Teaching doesn't have to be malicious. It can be informative. So we're not saying that, hey, you're this. You're not saying you're that. We're not saying everything. I'm not even going that route. But teach the truth, because I think the people have a right to the truth. So it can just be informative.
No, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that there is a age appropriate way to introduce these topics to children. And to keep it real, a lot of kids have access to more information than their parents ever have wanted them to know. And it's interesting to me that they don't police their kids consuming this information, and yet they're so gung-ho about them not learning this accurate information in school. That's what you go to school for, to learn.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point. So I definitely believe that it should be taught. My daddy made me watch Roots when I was 10, so.
All facts. All facts. And I'm glad my parents brought some of the stuff to the light with me, because there's certain things I didn't even experience until I got down south. I grew kind of military, so when I got down south, past that Mason-Dixon, I had a whole new understanding of racism. All right. So while we're doing this, while we're trying to educate, while we're trying to elevate for the culture, as far not just the Black culture, but for all cultures, is there a non-controversial way to teach the children about the effects of systemic racism? Should it be taught at all?
I definitely believe it should be taught. And to be real, I do feel like there is a non-controversial way to teach it. Teach it. Tell the truth. That's the controversy, is in leaving things up for interpretation, interpreting things the way you feel like it should be interpreted. That's where the controversy is. But if you actually say what happened, why it happened, and if you don't want to feel guilty about it, if you do feel like it was wrong, to speak on it. Like in Germany, they teach about Nazi Germany, and they are ashamed of it. If they can teach that there, and that's like a giant dirt stain on their history, if they could teach that there, then what's wrong with teaching that here? Especially when slavery literally built this country.
The best way to get past, the best way to move forward is you definitely got to know where you come from. So it's a stain, but you got to know your history. You got to know where you come from. How can you be better if you don't know what you're working with? This is my opinion. I say like this. Why does it have to be controversial? Why does it? I don't even understand.
It should be controversial, as we have statues of Confederate.
Exactly. It does not have to be controversial in a sense. The truth is the truth, and the truth should set you free. At the end of the day, that's like seeing your kids. It's like seeing your kids heartbreak when they find something out that wasn't true. Like, you tell your kids that Santa Claus isn't real. You tell your kids that the Tooth Fairy isn't real. You tell your kids that, hey, Easter Bunny, all that stuff isn't real. Why lie to them in the first place when you could simply tell them the truth? I never had that issue with my kid, because I never told him that there was a big fat white guy coming down the chimney with a beard named Santa Claus to give you gifts. No, I bought you those gifts. I supplied your needs. I never a big Easter Bunny going around laying Easter eggs. No, that comes from the Greek god Estar, the god of fertility. Second grade, my kids already knew that. Second grade. I never told them to lie on this stuff. Teach them the truth, so you don't have to worry about this conversation. Because someday they're going to find out the truth, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to have to explain it to them. That's Global R&B 96.3. We'll be back in a second, man. The hotline, 804-476-2306.